Alright, party people in the place to be. Live from 58 Dream Street, we're Jameson with Games. It is episode 11 of our Ultima V Warriors of Destiny replay. I will fire up the DOS box here after very responsibly turning down the desktop audio to spare you all the unpleasant title screen sound effects. Firing it up here, the story so far. The Avatar, the exemplar of all the virtues, and extra-dimensional traveler and hero of Britannia, is drawn back into Britannia by his companions, Shamino and Elo, because Lord British has gone missing during a delve into the dungeons beneath Britannia. Lord Blackthorn rules in his place, but Lord Blackthorn has been corrupted by the three Shadow Lords. So you can see up there right above me on the box art, they very distinctly look like Shadow Lords, right? So now Blackthorn's running a straight-up dictatorship that enforces the virtues ruthlessly with harsh laws such as the law of honesty is not, it's the right thing to do to be honest, and so you should, as respect for other people. But remember Aristotle's golden mean, and sometimes you should bite your tongue and show tact and not necessarily always just say exactly what's true in every situation or anything nuanced or thoughtful like that, and certainly nothing that calls on us or appeals to our better natures. Instead, the current law of virtue, the law of the virtue of honesty says, thou shalt tell the truth or thou shalt have thy tongue cut out. So this is the kind of unpleasant stuff we're up against. Today, we do not have a lot of time. It is busy here. IRL for myself. And so, it's nighttime. I'm not going to go into Moonglow right now. Instead, I'm going to hole up and camp. Then, wait, what time is it? Did I camp immediately before I saved last? In which case, it would be a waste of time to camp again. 7:52 p.m. No, I did not. So let's camp until the early morning hours. Get off the road, just to be polite. I don't think there's actually anything that can happen in the game to you if you irresponsibly camp on the road. But the Avatar will take watch because he's in the best condition right now of the whole team. And we're going to dive in to Dungeon Deceit. Because when I last left off, my last discovery was the... Oh, Lord British, we love to see you. Everyone's going to full hit points. I don't think anyone's going to level up. Nah. But look at this. We're not doing bad. We've got 3... No. Sorry. Do I want to become famous? Listen, I'll tell you the same thing I tell everyone else trying to sell me followers. Give me like 50 free ones so I know you got them. And then maybe we can talk about me paying you for more. So here we are. We are at level 4, and then Jana is level 3. She joined a little later, and also she's a tougher nut to crack in terms of leveling up because she doesn't have much attacking power, and her main gimmick is magic, but magic is expensive to use in this game. So I want to check out my stocks of things. I've got... So the main things I'm concerned with here, I want to make sure that I've got enough Mani, that's the heal spell. I don't have any of the cure spell and Nox. And then, once I got those, Vas Flam's very good, I've got 6 of those. Jana can bust those out if we need to do big damage on, say, a Reaper down in the dungeon. And then finally, actually there's no finally, that's what I need. Those are my, oh, no, there is a finally. Finally, I want to make sure I've got enough to mix up a few of the jump up a floor spell. Because there's no more exit the dungeon spell. In Ultima IV, I love the exit the dungeon spell. Cast one spell wherever you are. Get right back to the entrance. Here, we don't have that option. But we do have... We have upward move. Yes, we do. Takes moss and silk. So, what is the state of our moss and silk supplies? Because silk is not... Okay. So, now I'm ready. I'm ready to mix. First, we will mix some Nox, and that takes ginseng and garlic. I'm gonna do like a healthy number. I'm gonna do 8 of them right now. So we can deal with not any poison. If all 6 of us get poisoned once, we can deal with that, and then it gets dicey. But that doesn't happen often, that everyone gets poisoned. So I'm comfortable with that. I want to mix up some mani. It's going to take ginseng and spider silk. I've already got 4 mani. And I want to save some spider silk for the up spell. So I'm going to do 5 more. Done. Excellent. Let me remind myself, what does it take to do Vas Flamme? I mean, I've got 6. So I'm in a pretty comfortable position anyways, but Vas Flamme, Ash, and Pearl. Let's just review. What do we got? What do we got in terms of Ash and Pearl? 7 Ash, and no Pearl. All right. So we have options here. I can't remember if the alchemist or the apothecary, I should say, in Moonglow here will be able to sell me more. I'm going to walk around in the woods for a moment, because when you make very slow progress, time goes faster, which is an excellent upgrade to the Ultima system. In Ultima IV, slow movement just meant that you pressed the key for the direction you wanted to go and then you didn't move. That's not fun. So I'm not going to be able to shop because the Shadow Lord of Hatred is here. And the Shadow Lord of Hatred's gimmick is that if he's in town, everybody hates you. And the townsfolk will just try to kill you. And I don't want to get beaten up by the townsfolk, and I also don't want to murder them. Which I could. I'm a tough guy. I got my whole crew with me. So, we're going to save for this first expedition. We're just bringing 6. Vas Flamme. Oops. Trying to enter my boat when I need to board it. There we go. Excuse me a moment. So, the hard stop for me today is simply when my company arrives. And company was invited for 3. But I still felt comfortable hopping on at 2. Because I'll get more than an hour in, because this particular company is notorious for being late. And now I've got that confirmation. So we got a little time to work with here. Let's head up to Dungeon Deceit, which I have not been in. I have not been in here in Ultima V. Dungeon Deceit is actually the very first dungeon I ever delved into. Let me get the map out here. I mean, I know I'm in the right area. But just to verify the path. Right. So I believe Dungeon Deceit is actually up here. It's around here somewhere. Can't see the part of the map. So this was the first dungeon that I ever did in Ultima IV, Dungeon Deceit. And it was kind of funny because Dungeon Deceit, just based on the name, you would expect this is going to be filled with traps and false walls and mystery. But it was actually one of the more straightforward Ultima IV dungeons. So I'm interested to see if that continues to be the case. There's the Shrine of Honesty. Where's the... Oh, there's Dungeon Deceit. It's sealed up. So you can see... I'll just point at it for you. You can see it's slightly distinct. Bunch of rocks. So those are blocking the way. Oh my goodness. I will mute this in a moment. Let me just make sure I know what's going on. Alright. Great. Yeah. Company's going to be late. Which I suspected. So here we go. The dungeon has been sealed up. We don't want it to be sealed up. So I need to shout the magic word, which I learned at the very end of last week's stream is Phalanx. So I shout that. Boom. Oh my goodness. There's like a... This doesn't look promising. There's something there. Is there some... Is that... No, it's just a gimmick. It's just what the place looks like. Let's save and let's delve into Dungeon Despise. Actually, hold on. What's the state of my gems? 7 gems is not great, but it's good enough for a preliminary expedition. Maybe we'll find some more in battles. I've got my graph paper here, so we can map this thing out old school. Turn to a new page. Put the heading up there. Deceit. And let's delve. Here we go. It's dark. All the dungeons are dark. So I ignite a torch. Whoa! Now I was expecting this, but right off the bat, this is... not only did the one dungeon I've already done in Ultima V, Dungeon Despise, throw some much improved dungeon graphics at me. Ultima 4's dungeons are all kind of just solid colored walls, and they all look exactly the same. I had a feeling that this one was going to look different, and it does. Okay. So the entrance is simple enough. We're going to head forward a little. There's a pit, but when you can see a pit, you don't fall in it. Let's be good explorers, archaeologists here. I'm going to bust out the runic script translation key. Let's find out what this says. B. Boom, boom, boom. O. B-O-T-T-O-M. Elliot. Bottomless pit. I'm standing on a bottomless pit. Of course, this is Dungeon Deceit. So maybe there's a distinct bottom to the pit, and it doesn't want me to know. At any rate, we're not going to jump in the pit just yet, because we can go west or east. I haven't busted out a view gem yet, because I only have 7. There's going to be at least 8 floors in this dungeon. So if I can do one, if I can map one on my own, with no help from a view gem, and maybe I'll start doing that. How many steps was this? 1, 2, 3, right? 2. Okay. And then a pit. So. Just noting there's a ladder. 2 steps. The ladder up. And then a pit. And the walls go in either direction. So let's head... Hello, cat. My cat is eternally optimistic that maybe it is already 3 p.m., which it is not. I always kind of wonder when the cats get like this, in their minds, are they imploring me? Like saying, oh, come on, come on, come on, surely it's time now. Or are they explaining to me, like they think I'm dumb, and so they're saying, okay, 2 steps, 1 step this way, and immediately we open out into both a north and a south path. So let's go north here in the west end. Yeah, are they just going, what I'm trying to say is that I would like my LUNCH, and I keep going, you know, to them I'm saying not yet, but they think I'm saying whoa, come on, buddy. Right. A trap. It was a pit. It fell. I guess that is the hazard inherent in not using the view gem immediately to have all the pits marked off for you. But here's a fountain, which could be a good fountain, and it could be a bad fountain. And there's only one way to find out. Okay. So, whatever the key to using the fountain is, let me bust out the reference card and remind myself all the different key presses. It is no longer search to drink from the fountain. So let's try looking at the fountain. I don't even see it. Okay. Can I get? No. Can I use? Use is just for items. You know what? I should note to myself that there was a pit when I headed north there. Okay. Times like this, really wish there was someone in the chat who knew all about Ultima and could tell me, which there usually is. But that's okay. I know it's the end of the summer and we're all cramming to get things in. While the weather's still nice, or in my case, while I'm not teaching university courses. Well, I don't know the gimmick, so I'm just going to continue exploring for now. This is just a delve. Huh. Weird feature with the fountain, but okay. And I've fallen all the way to level 3, so that was a pit into a pit. Yikes. Suppose I can just... Aha! Painstaking searching. Nothing hidden on the fountain. Okay, there it is. Don't stand on the same square as the fountain. Look at it, and then you can drink. Let's find out. Let's find out if this particular fountain is nice. Bad taste. Okay? I don't think we took any damage. So that's good. Obviously, Dungeon Deceit is a lot trickier than it was in the previous Ultima. Let's try this fountain. Bad taste and Jana got hurt. Okay. Not optimal. Oh, sweetheart, it's not time. It's not time. Okay, let's go ahead. And maybe if I clear off this chair that the cat likes to sit on. If I clear your chair, is that going to appeal to you? Kind of a mess in here. As I've been focusing my energies on preparation for the return to in-person learning. Chili Choppa! Glad to see you here. Peaked the microphone in my excitement, so I apologize if that was really unpleasant. Turn the level down on that a tiny little bit. Alright, we have 2 bad tasting fountains here in Dungeon Deceit. Yes, we are delving into a deceptive dungeon. I'm going to bust out a view gem because I'm in a little boxed in area. There's no obvious way out right now. But according to this, the pit that I discovered is the only way down. So I'm going to make a note to myself, and I'm going to sketch this out. So excuse me one moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need a 7 length wall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then from there, it's actually pretty simple. So this is exciting because not only am I in a dungeon doing stuff with like a party that doesn't just melt on contact with an enemy, but I also have a lead for an important quest item if I can make it all the way through the bottom of this gem and into the underworld. Because last weekend I discovered that Ultima V introduces a Hollow Earth gimmick, where if you get to the bottom of the dungeon, because I made it to the 8th floor of Dungeon Despise, and was shocked to see a ladder going down. That's not good looking. Yeah, I'd say that's a less fortunate adventurer. Flashing red eyes make me a little nervous, but let's search it. Nothing hidden on the skeleton, it crumbles away. Oops. And nothing on the wall. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, so when I came out the bottom of Dungeon Despise, well, I was in a whole new situation. It was like I was outside, except we were inside the Earth itself. Okay, we have an up-down ladder here, but let's do the whole circuit. Oh, let me count my steps here. 1, 2, 3. Torch goes out, but 4, 5. Okay. So that's going to take me down to 4 FA. And let me knock that one out. Is that... I haven't seen Godzilla vs. Kong yet, but I am here for Godzilla vs. Kong having a Hollow Earth gimmick. Hollow Earth is... the Earth is not actually hollow, but it's a cool idea for it to be in a fantasy story. Alright, so I've got a very simple little setup here. Marked everything off. I know there's an up-down ladder here. Alright. Cat loves when it's approaching time. Alright. So, oh hey. Oh my goodness. A gazer. Well, you only live once. 3 gazers. Alright, this is a manageable fight. It would be... Oh, it's alright. I have been literally spoiled on which of Godzilla and Kong win. So, other sci-fi gimmicks that come up in the movie, I can survive that spoiler. So 3 gazers here. If I can help it, I don't want to use one of my Vas Flam spells because I don't have very many of them mixed. Lightly wounded. Alright. Physician, heal thyself here. Janna's hurt. We do not want Janna to be killed. Ooh, I hate that. Janna possessed. Oh no. Okay. So these gazers are breaking out the big moves. But one of them is heavily wounded already. Oh no. Janna is closing in on Gweno. One gazer dead. Cool gimmick. The gazers explode into clouds of insects when they die. Ooh, nice shot. Shimino with the Morning Star. Ooh, it's freaky at first when someone gets put to sleep because an asleep character looks exactly like a dead character. And Gweno, keep fleeing from our friend, who, it's not her fault she wants to kill you. Gazer's critical. Here we go. Send it to hell. The insects are biting Elo while he sleeps because Elo, his whole gimmick is that he cannot catch a break. Oof. Alright. Ooh. This was not the right call. I should not have focused Shimino on swatting insects with his Morningstar. He missed the insects he was aiming for and killed a different swarm of insects. So we'll call that a win. Oh! We'll call that a loss. I missed the gazer because I missed with my aim when there's no time pressure or dexterity involved in aiming. I just got overeager. Cannot win them all. Alright. Now, Julia needs to get away. Gweno can keep firing. Shimino gets a big ol' hit on the gazer, and then he takes the spiked shield, and he misses the insects. Alright, fair enough. Alright, Julia, you are no longer the focus of possessed Janna. So let's take a shot here. It's critical. Gweno's just got to keep running. We need to kill these insects because Shimino can't close on the Gazer right now. But it's hard to hit the insects. Alright. Now we're down to nothing but insects to kill. Alright. Can Julia kill an entire swarm of insects with a single crossbow quarrel? Heck yeah, she can. That's that tinker skill. Even if she's not officially called a tinker in her statistics screen anymore. Shimino got a hit. How do you lightly wound insects with a Morning Star? Kind of seems like the only possible wound to an insect from such a weapon should be utterly obliterated. But there we go. Insect swarms killed. And then I guess we're stuck because Jana is our enemy right now. So I gotta look at the spell book. I did not come prepared for possession because possession was not a status effect. Yeah, I suppose. It's a many-winged insect. You almost hit it. You pulled one wing off of all the insects. They can still fly. They can still descend on poor Elo and just bite him while he sleeps. Okay. Is there a spell that is just fixed brain? Oh no. Okay, there's confuse in the 6th circle. That's not promising. And I'm not seeing any spell that explicitly cures confusion. So, what I do have... Oops. Go back to my DOSBox window. What I do have here is Anzu, the Awaken spell. So let's get the avatar back on his feet. Keep fleeing from confused Jana. Do one more Anzu on sleepy old Elo. And then, what? Let me look here. How many more Anzus do I have? Exactly one. I'm not confident this is going to be the solution, but let's see if Anzu can awaken Jana from her possession. Failed. Okay. So we don't want to kill Jana. What are we going to do? I mean, I guess we're going to leave and see what happens then. Oops. Jana passes out, and then she wakes up. Excellent. Victory. Okay. There's how you deal with confusion. That's good to know. Hello is just not time, sweetheart. Victory! Garlic SCR in the house. Yeah. Feel good about that? Now, because my exploration of Dungeon Deceit was thrown off early when I fell through a 2-story pit on the 1st floor, let's climb up. Whoa, okay, here we go. I was wondering if it was going to turn out that there were any rooms in these, because Dungeon Despised didn't have any pre-planned battles that take place in a certain way in a specially shaped combat field. You know what? That's probably that's got to be the way to go. What circle is the sleep spell in? Wall of Sleep. Well, that's probably that might be a field. Yeah, sleep is 5th circle. So I'm not quite there. I guess we could put a field of sleep and try to lure or steer her into it. Okay. Let's get down to business. Miss the Daemon and miss the Daemon. Not an auspicious start. but we're doing what we can. I'm not even sure. Didn't really show up prepared for this dungeon at all, it turns out. Dungeon Despise lured me into thinking that dungeons were going to be simpler. What a fool I was to be so optimistic. There's a grazing hit on Shimino. This might be a good time to break out a little Vas Flamme. Barely wounded. Yikes. Might be learning about the limitations of what the companions of the Avatar can do right now. But then again, it's not like we're gravely outnumbered by these things. So let's just keep working on them and see what we can do. And I don't know if silver weakness for these creatures is going to be a thing. Break out your sling, Janna. Demon grazed. Not a good sign that we are... There! There's a lightly wounded demon. Oh no, an ELO is possessed. Whew. Okay. So I don't have the sleep spell. Well, I think the odds are that we're about to conclude that it's not quite time to be doing... Hey, a field got dispelled. That's helpful. I mean, not helpful in, like, winning the battle. But it's good to know that'll happen. So what is the Dispel Field spell? And do I have it yet? Oh yeah, it's 4th circle. I can do that. I don't know that I have any mixed. Oh, little kitty. The dispelling of those fields is actually terrible right now because I don't want another extremely difficult enemy that I just can't get it going with. Barely wounded. But this one is Demon Gates in a Demon. Oh, good. Oh, they're summoning more. That's great. Janna's about to die. And Elo has killed Janna. Okay, I think we've learned an important lesson. So I'm going to take the coward's way out. I'm going to reboot the game and not attempt Dungeon Deceit right now. I think I need to continue exploring, finding things, and just trying to get better at stuff in this game. Get stronger with the characters. Progress more. Get to the places I haven't been able to get to, such as Magencia, which might be New Magencia by now. I know there is eventually going to be a New Magencia, so I'm not sure if Magencia is still a ruin at this time. Oh, good. A glowing seahorse. Will that give chase to my skiff? Of course it will. So let's get off of that skiff. Kill some rats. Get our confidence back after learning that demons are just a little bit more than a level 4 party is ready to handle. I've got 527 gold and great food stocks right now. We're in good condition for some general exploring. And we're closing in on being able to buy a frigate, which will be a vastly preferable means of sea conveyance to our current skiff, because the skiff cannot go into deep waters. Kat is now informing me from the other room that she would like to have her LUNCH right now. It's not going to happen. We got schedules here. We do things in an orderly manner. Of course, that said, we're gonna be switching. Gotta switch everything up soon when I gotta go back out in the world for the first time in a while. 18 months since I was last allowed to do my job at my workplace. Oh, let's not, silly chumpa. This game has a lot of charms, and the classic RPG gameplay, the tactical combat, the tiny little things moving suddenly on the screen when I fire a projectile. It's tough to say exactly what the cat is and isn't appreciating. I remember when this one was little, I was playing a lot of classic arcade games on emulators. Oh, you know what time it is, Shimino. It's time to dig through the guts, buddy. Poor Shimino. He's the ranger. So he's the one who has to crawl around in the giant rat guts and find 3 gold. Okay. This doesn't do anything about our seahorse situation here. So let's board the skiff. Let's keep going. And let me consult the map here for a moment. See, I'm going up. Okay. Okay. We're going to sail up around this island where the Shrine of Honesty is. Not sailing. We are rowing. Got to be very careful not to go in deep sea waters. Yeah, I taught a full... Not a full academic year, a full academic year plus an additional third of an academic year entirely online, as well as closing off the winter 2020 semester in an impromptu online situation. So it's been weird. Like, it's great to have commuting out of your life. I do not so much enjoy the constant isolation portion. Isn't really my jam. And then add into that, let's frig around in the desert here, because there's a demon in this desert who I'm supposed to somehow be able to get information, perhaps the true name of the Shadow Lord of Hatred, but I'm not exactly sure how that's accomplished. Like, I have a summon demon scroll, but I think those are supposed to be used exclusively in combat. Let me look into that, because if the summon demon spell, summon in combat, yeah, that's a combat spell. So that's not going to be the gimmick to get our buddy here to appear. Yeah, see, when you're having that experience, you can imagine what I have experienced. I held it together, especially because I had a lot of the things that have turned into streaming, like the things that led me to doing the streaming stuff, included figuring out how to do co-op board games with my buddies online via the internet. And then also I wound up really I was worried I wasn't going to get to know my students as well, that they would just be anonymous names on a screen, arbitrary identification codes and the like. Sleeping the night away here, even though we're all in great shape. Party rested. Here we go. Let's light up a torch for the morning at least. Torch in the desert. So, of course, there is a shrine here. And, okay. We all saw that, right? There was water and then it disappeared. I know that that's a whole thing. The people in the desert think that they see water, but I'm sure I saw it. There's nothing there. What if I look? I see a parched desert. Okay. Well, here, at least, is another shrine. I believe, but I should verify, that this is the shrine. No, wait. This won't be the Shrine of Sacrifice. Will it? No, the Shrine of Sacrifice is really, really close to Minok, I believe. Okay. Let me look at the language here. Okay. So... No, I think this is Sacrifice. But hold on. R... Yeah, I have no idea. You know what? It's actually going to tell me the name. Ah, there you go. Yeah, cats often do find it compelling to hear the sounds of cats on the fake television. Yeah, when this one was little, and I was doing a lot of arcade game emulation, she had a favorite game, which was Robotron 2084. Whenever I fired that up, when it made the like opening sound, she would come running, hop up in my lap, and just like stare directly at the screen. And I'm fairly confident she was excited by the flashing lights and random sounds. It is the Shrine of Sacrifice. There's no need to translate the map when it's just going to tell you. And then it says, "Upon what virtue dost thou meditate?" Well, this isn't that mysterious. You told me it was the Shrine of Sacrifice. Mantra? Oh, let me tell you. Because I wrote them all down in Ultima IV. It's Ka. C-A-H. Like a crow. And you gotta say the mantra 3 times. It's a mantra. Ka. Ka. While I think about being sacrificey. There's one time this cat watched Samurai Jack with me, and she was up on the arm of the couch, just kind of looking at the screen, and then it was a big exciting moment where like something went like boom, and it got loud, and she like gripped the thing and like leaned forward, and her ears went up. I don't believe that she had any idea. She wasn't like, oh no, what's gonna happen to Samurai Jack? But it totally seemed like that, and it was endearing. Okay, a quest is ordained. Go under the codex and learn the failing of unwilling sacrifice. Alright, I need to make note of that. Here in my little table. The failing of unwilling sacrifice. Regular viewer, who's not here today, but has been pretty consistent otherwise, told me to make sure to remember these, even though they've mostly, all the ones I've got so far kind of seem intuitive. Like the justice one said, go into the codex and learn the weakness of the unjust. Like, under the codex and learn the failing of dishonesty. But the precise wording might just turn out to be important. So I'll just keep that in mind. I know that the codex in Ultima IV was at the very bottom of the Stygian abyss, but I've learned that a great volcano emerged on the Isle of the Avatar. So I think now the codex is at the top of a mountain. But I guess we'll find it much later on. That seems like late game kind of stuff. Oh, the water reappeared. Oh, it's cruel. No sign of a demon living in this desert. No monsters thus far. There's my faithful skiff. Oh yeah, that's the one by the shrine. I know that one disappears, but then I'm thinking maybe there's one that doesn't, and like the demon lives at the one real oasis. I mean, who knows? Or does he just live in a tiny little house? If the demon lives in a little cabin, that's going to be funny. Well, there's only one way to find out. Enter the hut. And go in. There's nobody here. Mysterious. Alright. Crowded bookshelf. Find nothing of note. Nothing of note. Nothing of note. Nothing of note. Nothing. Nothing. What about this clock? Nothing. Let's look at the clock. Well, it's 4:19. Let's take a step back. Oh, we missed 4:20. The Avatar and his companions will have to wait another day. Blaze up. That's a hot stove. Go figure. Nothing of note. What about these torches? Nothing of note. Nothing of note. Nothing of note. What about false walls? Nothing. Nothing. Okay. What's the beep beep? I don't know if it's a meaningful sound. Okay. Let's explore the area. Ho! Here's our pal. Hopefully he's a friendly demon. Because I did just find out that I can't fight demons. It'd be weird though if the good folks at the Empath Abbey had been like, go talk to the demon in the desert so we can kill you, sucker. Because they want me to save Britannia, right? You see a huge, horned, leather-winged demon. I am called Sinvral. 10 minutes. So let's start out. We don't want to just get, I don't want to just be functional with this guy. He's probably pretty lonely living in the desert. So let's chat him up before we get into talking about the Shadow Lord. So what's your job? I once served the mighty Astaroth, but that was long ago. Astaroth? Speak not that name in too loud a voice, lest thou summon the Shadow Lord of Hatred. Oh, sweetheart, you gotta shut up. I love you, but you're so annoying. So let me just let me create an entry here in my info spreadsheet for the Shadow Lord's true names, because now I've got 2 of them. Alright, Shadow Lord, true name. I pluralized Shadow Lord, which doesn't make sense for a table heading, so I had to fix that. Alright, Shadow Lord's hatred, cowardice, and falsehood, and Astaroth, the Shadow Lord of Hatred. Well, I think I don't want to Google it and accidentally reveal something to myself about this game in particular, but I think there is some deeper mythological or demonological root to the name Astaroth, because I've certainly heard of, well, now at least 2, and I think I've heard of other Astaroths. H.P. Lovecraft has the idiot god Azathoth. Okay, so Shadow Lord. Get back to talking here. This is how I imagine the Avatar actually conversing with people. It's just they say the thing and then he just, Shadow Lord, so that they say more. Beware, for they who yell their names oft die at the will of the foul wraiths. Names? My name is Sir... Right, of course. Wraiths? No longer do I serve evil, for deep below the earth did the once and true king show me the paths of virtue. Lord British, out there telling people to be good, inspiring everybody. King, I can only tell thee that he has turned me from the ways of darkness, but he'll have no such luck with the Shadow Lords. Okay. Okay. This is a lot of helpful information, Mr. Demon. What about darkness? Can it help me with that? Hatred? Beware who yell their names, for they will die at the foul rates. Okay. Will die. Bye. I bid thee a safe journey. Cool. So we just have a humble reformed demon just tending to his really crummy little garden here. And you know what? He's in the desert. So I think the fact that he got anything at all to grow, it's not fair of me to say that he's crummy. He's actually doing a fine job. Yes, I dost wish to leave. Let's throw down another save. Okay. I need a moment here to rediscover in this very large spreadsheet of mine where the... Boom. Yep. Where I have the other Shadow Lord's name, the Cowardice Shadow Lord, is written down somewhere. So I just want to find it and transfer it to my essential info sheet that I realized I should have and only just started working on. Pause. No. Servant's Hold. Yes. Nosfentor. Wait. Going back for a moment. Yes. Nosfentor. So now I know 2 out of 3 Shadow Lord names. And certainly their names are going to, in one way or another, prove essential to defeating them. Although maybe the only part that it plays... Lars! Hey, buddy. It's going well. The adventure's going really well. And I'll even, before you even ask, I don't have the music patch installed yet. But I have a tab open for the music patch. And so I'm thinking by next weekend, I will definitely have the music patch in and figured out. And that should especially liven up the parts where I'm delving in a dungeon, drawing a map on graph paper while I don't do anything on the screen. Night falling in the desert, cat getting real eager. Yeah, because she knows it's almost time. Oops, walked into a cactus. Well, now we got something to sleep off. I'll stand guard. Actually, no. ELO, you're doing the best. ELO can stand guard. How have you been, Lars? We're up. We're rested. Doing well. Alright. Let's light up a torch. You never get... right now... I was going to do Dungeon Deceit as my stream title here suggests. Then I went in and found out, oh no, mostly level 4 party isn't quite ready to fight a demon, or let alone 4 demons, which was a mandatory, like one of those battle rooms that is like a preset battle. So now I am back to exploring. I just found the demon in the desert, who told me the true name of the Shadow Lord of Hatred. So now I've got 2 to 3 true names for those Shadow Lords, because I know that Cowardice is Nosfentor, and Hatred is Astaroth. So then I need one more name, Falsehood. And, of course, I also learned from the demon, it sounds like maybe shouting the name is just about summoning the Shadow Lord. So I don't necessarily have the thing that will let me beat them yet. I'm gathering that's a pretty late game kind of thing. I know that there are shards, kind of taking up the spot of the crystals or the stones from Ultima IV. So perhaps those are the key. But I don't have any shards yet. I've got 1 lead, but that's for a shard at the bottom of Dungeon Deceit, which I just found out I'm not necessarily in condition yet to get through. So what I think I'm going to do now is I'm just heading back to the mainland, specifically to around Britannia, and I'm going to try to do a better job in some of the towns of talking to people, and also just keep doing some fighting, because I got 530 gold, and I'm in good shape with my... no need to get poisoned going to that little house, because I have already been there, and It's just a foolish wizard who's experimenting with new magic spells. He came up with a spell called something like Greater Change Small Creature, and lo and behold, he turned himself into a mouse. I don't know what he was expecting to happen. So yeah, if I could, like, I'm pretty close to buying a frigate if I can just get on a good roll. You know, meet some Ettins, some people who, you know, carry some wealth on them. Here we are, in Britain. Like a responsible person, let's tie our skiff up at the dock. And let's go down. Let's head on down to Trinsic, because let me just look at my spreadsheet here. I'm inclined to say, and I can confirm it now, that I haven't learned a lot in Trinsic. So I'm gonna do that. I'm just making a quick update here to my spreadsheet, compiling essential information like the shrine quests in a single sheet instead of, for example, having the honor quest in the Trinsic sheet. At this point, I'm hoping for trolls whenever I cross a bridge. You know, like a kid who worked out all summer and he's going back to school and he's like, man, I hope, like, I'm looking for the bullies because I know now that I can just smack them around. 2 minutes and we can get this little squeaky little darling off my back. I said 2 minutes, not 10 seconds. But in fact, we have ticked over, so it's actually only 1 minute now. Yeah. Very carefully not navigating the poison swamp. That would be a terrible... Aha! Am I going to pay? How about you pay me a toll, chump? Avatar. Paying a toll to some trolls. You know, first rule of the internet, you do not feed the trolls. And who am I? Tell anybody different. Alright, Julia, target this one. Because whenever we can get Jana a kill, which maybe we can with this troll, oof, or maybe she'll just beam the avatar with a rock. When we get Jana a kill, we want to do it. Because it's harder to level up the mages. Because spells are not... Ooh, nice shot, Elo. Spells are not an abundant thing, especially the combat spells that require some of the fancier reagents. Okay, can she make the hit from here? I'm going to try. Yes, she can. Love to see it. All right. And now we just kill this one poor chump. He's only barely wounded. We can fix that pretty quick, though. The Avatar is really practicing the virtue of sacrifice by just having his friends shoot him in the back again and again. Oh, yeah. You're right. You're right, sweetheart. She knows she's right. All right, Yellow, you're going to junk your turn because we're going to have a temporary intermission for lunchtime. Want lunch? You want lunch? All right, let's go. Tell your sister. You want lunch, Astra? Yeah, you do. Having abandoned the dungeon delve so quickly, this feature isn't urgent for today. But I got a camera boom to improve the graphics work on, or the visual experience of our Friday night Forgotten Circles stream where we play Gloomhaven. I was told by Rich and Robert, two of my compatriots in that Gloomhaven campaign, who pay more attention to things like what's actually going on Twitch, I guess, that apparently we're like the only people in the Gloomhaven category that are playing physical Gloomhaven, and anybody else who's streaming on Twitch in Gloomhaven is using the board game version. So to compete with that, which presumably has some animations and stuff, we got to step up our appearance game. So I got a camera boom so I can move the camera around, and it occurs to me that I don't know how exciting this would be, but I could hook that to the side of my desk here, and then we could watch me as I do the mapping, and maybe then when I'm in dungeons, it won't be as tedious to watch me, to deal with me doing that part of the game. It's essential. Oh, we found a trap. We jimmied it off. We open. And we collect. I think it's its own thing, Chili Champa. I think that Gloomhaven, I think there's a team that, you know, they reached out to Cephalofair Games and were like, we'd really like to do this. And Cephalofair was like, yeah, go for it. So from what I understand, it's been it's a gradual rollout. So it's not a fully featured Gloomhaven experience yet. And I really doubt that it's got Forgotten Circles built into it. So it couldn't even replace what we're doing just yet. I got to remember also to buy more view gems at some point. Although I think my purchase priority in the near term, nothing. I think the near term purchase priority has got to be a frigate, because I want to get to the Buccaneer's Den especially. Like, if I want to go to Magencia, I think I can... Let me look at the map here. I think that's moongateable. Yeah. Whereas there's no moongating to get to the Buccaneer's Den. Moongates are only for the major cities. And likewise, I can... Have I been to Gelome yet? Yes, I have. Because I've written it down here. But I can't get there easily. I can only get there via Moongate. And the Moongates are not the most convenient method of travel. Yes, yeah, you know, dead air is just, you can't fake that. It has to happen naturally or the magic's gone. The process, you haven't been there for the last few episodes, Chili Chomp, but the process is getting a little more efficient because I'm improving my loadouts and like my own setup to try to make my life a little easier. The most vital step, which is actually like establishing a studio space in my home. Maybe I can do that once I'm no longer like using my home as a workspace half the time. More than half the time. No, that's not true. I don't work more than half of my life. Yeah. Right now, I like drag a bunch of furniture around to build my little studio and then drag it all back. So in and around that 2.5 hours of Gloomhaven, for me, there is 4 hours. 3 hours. Probably closer to 3. 2 hours before, 1 hour for teardown. But that's a lot of time. And especially now that there's a AEW Rampage on Friday nights. If I'm up past 11, I want to be watching that and paying attention. Killing these trolls and taking their money. It's heroic when you do it to trolls. It would be frowned upon if I was just killing the shopkeepers. There's no ill virtue. Let's shoot this dude as he's running away. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, jeez. Broke trolls. Oh, one of them had some undigested food in his stomach. You want to talk about setup time? I've got the Dark Souls board game. I kickstarted that, and when I decided to kickstart it, I decided, heck, I'll throw in for all the stretch goals. So I've got got the Dark Souls base board game plus something like 6 or 7 expansions. And of course, the different expansions are like, if you want to use this one, take the 10 new weapon cards of this expansion and substitute them for a random 10 cards from the base game. So there's just a lot to do to set up your base game there. I don't need food urgently, but let's buy a little food. At the provisioner, our pal is up. He's awake, he's on the go. Oh no. No. Oh, you son of a bitch. He saw me coming and everything. 7:12. He's done for the day. Well, it's like I said, I don't need food urgently. I'm, in fact, quite well provisioned. Let me look at Jana's stats. She got a kill in there. How's she doing? Nowhere close to level 4. I have never played Star Trek Ascendancy. I've never actually even heard of it. I would have assumed that there were complex European-style board games using the Star Trek license. But I haven't been exposed to them in any significant way. Alright. Well, we lit a torch, but still. Let's get up in the woods and camp it down for the night. Yes, we'll set a watch. Julia, look after us. Half of what I say is meaningless, but I say it just to reach you, Julia. Great. Fortunately, I did not get the key there at all, so there's not even a slight chance of getting accidentally banned from Twitch. Yeah, the Dark Souls game is pretty fun. They did a really good job of simulating everything except the exploration of Dark Souls, like the combat and the feel and the character progression. Even though it's not one-to-one, like they didn't just transfer all the systems, they really made a game that feels like you're playing a Dark Souls but with a party. What they didn't do is come up with a good meta for it. So like a regular game takes far too long to resolve, and the campaign mode is like barely a campaign. It's more like just take the incredibly long, like 6-hour game and make it an 8 to 9 hour game. Like it's not much more, maybe a little more than that, but I don't know. There's very clearly a point. Does Twitch care about music? Oh, I believe so. Like, for example, if you play music that you own on your stream, but there's no music credit on the screen, you can get banned for that. Like if I put Aaron's music on, but it doesn't say music by Aaron Hodges Boyle on screen, I can get burned. Where am I? Oh, I'm in the forest near you. Let's head over to the east. Oh, I didn't go to Trinsic at all. I like walked to pause and then turned around and walked back. Like a fool. Just looking for someone who wants to throw down. I think that my reputation precedes me, so the monsters give me a wide berth. I guess I could jump back into Dungeon Deceit and see if anybody in there wants to throw hands. And maybe I'll do that in a minute. But I should do the thing I said I was going to do with Trinsic. Because more information is really is an equally important reward to be after. It's nighttime again. And we're all in full health and nobody's ready to level up. So I'll just light up a torch. I have no idea where I've gotten to. I did a loop there around the mountains north of Britain, and now I'm just wandering in the woods. There's some hills. There's a giant spider. Come at me, spider. Yeah, you come. Oh, one spider. Hardly seems sporting. we're going to let Jana head forwards a little. Because we might as well get her a kill. Barely wounded. Lightly wounded. Going in the right direction. I guess I don't think there's ever a case where you can hit an enemy and have it actually improve its condition. But I shouldn't speak too soon. Alright, no loot. Not that I expected a single giant spider to really be carrying a ton of money. Alright, let's sleep. Let's count. Alright, count. Let's kill the night. Get some sunlight. Lord British stops by. We're all at full health, Lord British, but it's nice to see you. It's reassuring to know that the once and future, hopefully, king is still out there. He's kicking it. He's doing his thing, being helpful. He's got his own sprite now. He didn't look very kingly in what am I trying to say here? In Ultima IV. Nobody really looked like anything. Or nobody looked distinct from anybody else. Okay, where? Ah, I think I see where I've got myself to. Just way down around nowhere, really. But some foes, and foes will get us experience at least. Not going to make a lot of money, I don't think, from the giant rats. Let's see. Can Julia shoot a crossbow quarrel through a forest and kill a giant rat? That would have been more impressive, Julia, if you hit the one you were aiming for. But I am grateful that you hit anything at all. I mean, I'll be honest, folks. My own archery skills are greatly outclassed by all of the characters in this game. There we go. Another kill for young Jana. The only companion of the Avatar who I'm meeting for the first time. Because in Ultima IV, you had to get a full party of 8, but the gimmick was whichever class you turned out to be, you didn't recruit that companion. So I was a druid, and I never met sweet Jana. So now we've got her on team. Of course, we're still not quite at the point, like, there's no character portraits. There are certainly no character plot lines. That's not fair. Shimino and Ilo, they had the plot line of summoning the Avatar and being with him right from the start of this quest. And, Julia was, I don't know if this counts as a plot line, but she was chilling in a specific place that wasn't her home. Everyone's on the run. But yeah. So it's not like I'm really getting to know Jana. But we might at some point as we continue through the Ultima series. I assume it just seems like a reasonable bet that the games will become more narrative driven. Yes, where the live action Ultima film where all the characters always face the camera and they're just playing out their animations, not at any specific time. That would be, well, I mean, it'd probably be terrible, but it's a funny idea. Alright, Elo. Work your, oh, good try. Maybe your missus can, nope. British! Good to see you, pal. I'll catch you up on what you've missed. Oh, I forgive you. I'm sorry for not being here for very much longer. I started late. You didn't miss much. I went into Dungeon Deceit and immediately learned that, and I was glad to see this, there are still preset battle rooms in the dungeons. Because I was a little disappointed when Despise was just a cave and didn't have any cool, customized battles. However, the battle that I found was Daemons, and I quickly discovered that my level 4 party with our current set of gear, we're not killing any Daemons. So So now I'm back to... I'm going to go to Trinsic, try to do a better job, see if I can interrogate some people, and keep on killing in the hopes of saving up for a frigate. So we can get to the Buccaneer's Den, learn a little bit more about this glass sword. So yeah, you didn't miss anything exciting. No big accomplishment. Oh! I found the demon in the desert. You probably remember, you were probably just sitting here being like, he's overcomplicating this last week when I was looking at the summon demon spell and being like, is that how to get the demon in the desert? No, it just turns out the first time I went to the desert, I was not thorough enough, go figure, in my exploration, because the demon just lives in a hut and he's got a little farm. So now I've got 2 out of 3 true names of the Shadow Lords. The quest is on its way. These warriors are approaching, slowly but surely, their destiny. All right, Jana, you're in the hot seat just to do a little Noxin. Noxin out those toxins. Yes, because yet another thing to go back to my recent Ultima IV experience, where the combat, despite looking exactly the same and having the same basic setup and really most of the same bestiary, it's just wildly different. Different balance. And so I was used to just being like, oh good, some demons. As long as there's not a Baelor who can put us all to sleep, we'll just slaughter these demons, get a bunch of experience. Demons in this, the demons themselves have the sleep spell in addition to a possession spell, in addition to a summon more demons spell. It was a whole scene. And I'm not even, I don't even have a level 5 spellcaster yet. So what was it that turned out to be a 5th circle spell that I will absolutely and obviously need? Let me just double check this here. No, never mind. 4th circle is where Dispel Field, which I'm going to need. But what I realized would probably be helpful for cases of possession is being able to cast the sleep spell to put my possessed allies safely to sleep so that they don't, kill me. Because I know they don't really want to. Oh, come on, rats. These rats were not saving up their wealth. Well, I mean, they weren't broke. I guess as far as rats go, kind of seems like they were doing okay. We jimmy it with success. 7 more gold. Digging in those guts. Nothing. That's okay. We found some food in the guts today. We found some little tiny bit of money. This is not so bad. I believe that there's orcs on the other side of this bridge. And I'm correct in my belief. So, why don't we go ahead and kill them as well. Yeah, so I'm at my stop time today is not a scheduled thing. Well, I guess it's like, I probably will stop towards 4 o'clock if I get there. Otherwise, though, stop time today is when company arrives. And company was supposed to arrive at 3, but did not. It is notoriously perpetually late company. And fair enough. Which means more Ultima time for me. Which I'm happy with. Because I'm really glad with the streaming experience is both adding a lot to the game for me. But it's also, like I've been kind of harping on, it's great for regulating my own bad gaming habits. Like putting too much time into games. So if I wasn't yes. So, I failed to save last weekend because, well, what happened was I left the game running, and then so when I went to go stream the next time, I was like, well, I'll restart so we can go in from the title screen. But I left the game running and hadn't saved, so I wasted all my progress, which was a bummer. But hopefully, There we go. A little bit of treasure at least. Hopefully we won't see a repeat of that. That's hopefully... trapped. Key broke. Key broke. We call that a false positive. Yeah. 27 gold. All right. 600. And... oh, pardon me. Hello? Hey, what's up? Yep. Sure. I was going to stop when you got here, but I guess that's not a good plan. Okay. Oh my. All right. Okay. I'll call you in a minute. Or not in a minute, but soon. Okay. Bye-bye. Okay. Well, looks like we're stopping. No, not that putting time into Chili Champa. Putting time into games is not the bad habit. My bad habit is, for example, I got really into Ultima Underworld at this. Yes, that was the company, and they're going to be very late. Turns out British. So I will be stopping on my own around 4, and then giving them a call to find out what the hell's going on. But no, my bad gaming habit is getting so into a game that, for example, I get up in the morning and I go, all right, had my breakfast, did my morning yoga, should get down, do my work day and then get on. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll just play a little Ultima Underworld for like a half hour before I start my work day. And then that turns into too much more. So, and often I can do that to myself to the point that like I'm not even having fun playing the game, but I'm just like, I'll just hit one more milestone so that my brain releases the sweet reward endorphins or whatever. So doing this as a thing that I do on Saturdays and Sundays and that I speak out loud during, so like I just can't do it for that long. Really, I said I was going to Trinsic. Really gets it under control, which is great because I'm also, I'm playing a bunch of other games. In fact, Monster Train hit the Switch just last week, and so that's been a whole thing because that's a deck building roguelike, obviously heavily influenced by Slay the Spire, another deck building roguelike. And I love roguelikes and I love deck building. So I've certainly been doing a lot of, I'll do one more battle. And then I win the battle and then I go, well, okay, should do the next path of like rewards and upgrades and stuff. Then you do all the upgrades and then you're like, man, I want to see what this team plays like. Let's do one more battle. And it's tough to either stop at the... It's tough to stop when you just got a bunch of rewards and you want to find out what they are. But then once you've gotten those rewards and applied them to your deck, to your units and your spells, well, now that's tough too. The Air of Falsehood. Nothing to be gained from interrogating these folks right now. Because they'll just lie, and it's not their fault. We're not blaming them. They're under the influence of the Shadow Lord. The only Shadow Lord whose names we don't know. And yet if I were to say, folks, what's the Shadow Lord's real name? Even if they knew, they would lie to me. Of course, no use going into Paws to buy food at night. Because our friend the shopkeeper, he will, he does not keep long hours. He starts late and he ends, he's not working 8-hour day. I mean, fair enough. The 8-hour workday, it's probably a little outmoded for a lot of jobs. I guess probably not when you're running your own shop and you don't have help. Then it's maybe like, put in at least a solid 8. Like you'll make more sales. Put your daughter, send your daughter to the Lyceum to study. Oh, a sea dragon, a sea serpent. Well, these have been very problematic for me in the past. But I got a feeling... I got a feeling that we can pull this off, team. With our ranged fighting skills. Barely wounded. But let's see what Jana has to say about that with a little Vas Flamme. Little flambéed sea serpent here. Lightly wounded. We're working on it. Shimino, buddy, you're the most heavily armored and you've got a Morning Star. You're going to go to the shore and try to smack this dude. Elo, you don't. Elo's whole thing is getting himself killed. So we'll just have Elo hold back. The Avatar is also going to hold back. Should I do a second Vas Flamme just to kill a single enemy in a non-crucial situation? I don't think I'm going to do that. So I'll go in the woods. Elo pass. Gweno. Do your thing, girl. Or not. Julia gets the hit. I'm hoping that if Jana stays back... Oh, it's heavily wounded now. We're definitely going to kill this. What I don't want is for Jana to get one-shotted by the serpent in the process of me killing it. Okay. It's critical. Alright, Jana. This one's yours. It's still critical. Alright. You can't take the kill, Shimino. Gotta tank it a little. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We'll go back to Jana and screw it. It's not necessarily responsible. Oh, and I didn't even get the kill. Alright. Sorry, Jana. It's not your day to kill a sea serpent. Gweno gets the kill. Of course, there's no treasure. So we'll ditch out. And what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was killing time. Well, let's get some sleep, team. Yeah, we'll set a watch. Gweno. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Throw a save down because you can never save too often. And probably our friend here is not out of bed. No breakfast menu at the provisioner in Pause. No, sir. I'm saving for a frigate. When I will get a horse, but I really have my heart set on that frigate. Is there anybody just chilling in the inn who we can talk to? Oh, that's a nice graphical touch. I hadn't noticed that. Look at that mirror. Look at my reflection. Now, of course, technically that should be the reflection of the back of the Avatar's head, because the Avatar is always facing south. But I understand that Avatar doesn't actually always face south. Huh. Opening up. Is he working? Yes, he is. Yes, you may help me. I want rations. 1 pack, sir, because your prices cannot beat Moonglows. I just don't feel like sailing to Moonglow right now. Sailing. Rowing. You know what? That makes perfect sense. It'd be like Buff Bagwell when he had that top hat with his face painted on top of it. In the little deep cut late 90s WCW reference for our Ultima V stream here. Ha! This augurs well for the collecting of loot. While also not taking on really that significant of a physical risk. Can't shoot over the hills. But I think Julia can come right up the middle here. Blam. Grazed that orc. Whew. Missed. Yeah, like, these orcs got moves. And actually, I'm selling the troll short, because now I'm looking at the troll, and the troll is doing something much more elaborate than even the orcs. Boom. Here we go. Trying to throw down. There we go, Shimino. Shimino pivots with the spike shield. And barely wounds the orc to his immediate right, left. It's hard to say because we know he's probably not actually facing south right now. Unless it's as a disrespect thing. We're so confident in this battle. We don't even turn to face you. Missed with the long sword. Not your best showing, Elo. Your finest hour, but... Ha! She couldn't... The orc wasn't in range. But when she missed the orc with her... With the troll with her sling, she got the hit. Splat. Okay. Gwenno shoots her husband again. Well, I think we've got an orc who's going to flee here. All right, Jana, get the kill. Get the kill and that sweet experience. It's like she's not even trying. I don't want to cast level 4 spells. Well, that was Julia. So we can't blame that on marital discontent. There we go. Alright. Jana got her token kill. Now the kid gloves come off. And it's just a slaughter. The enemy lines have broken. And it's a rout from here on out. Splat. Loads of treasure here. Which is great to see. That's really what it's all about right now. Fighting these orcs is... I mean, it's not that it's not going to give us experience, but especially for all the non-Jana characters who are level 4, it's becoming an increasingly trivial amount of experience. Because the scaling for levels in this game works... like doubling every time. So if it took you 200 to get to level 3, it takes you 400 to get to level 4, and then 800, and 1600, and 3200, and then you cap out level 8 with 6400 experience. You're not getting there killing orcs unless you're really into grinding, which I am not. You know, when I was a kid, I was trying to beat Dragon Quest on my own for the first time. I certainly did a lot of grinding because you have to. But as an adult, I prefer not to if I can avoid it. Alright, back in the 600s for gold after having bought that food. Got some keys. Got some more food. I gotta remember to hit a guild shop at some point before I next delve into a dungeon and get more view gems. But that's not super urgent at this exact moment. Arrows. Very good. 32 gold. A key. A torch. Some food. A trap. Key broke. Success. That's why we do 2 attempts before we say, this is a false positive. Opened. Keys. No gold. Some torches. Good, like, you find so many torches in this game, I don't know that I'll ever be buying a torch. And that was a false negative, and Shimino's poisoned. Iron Helm. I'm not sure, but maybe someone can use that. If I don't have anyone who can equip it right now, I could make... Oh, and some quarrels too. So an all-around stock up on some ammunition. 14 gold, not a ton of gold, but it's more than 0. And I'm going to have, whether it's the Iron Helm itself or a chain coif coming off of somebody, we're going to have some headgear to sell. And that's money too. And Nox. Shimino. Our boy is back. We got more orcs to kill. But first, let's take a quick look through the team. Avatar's got an Iron Helm. Shimino's got an Iron Helm. Elo, Iron Helm. Julia, Iron Helm. Gweno, Iron Helm. And while we're all standing here going, what kind of hat are you wearing, Julia? The orcs creep up on us. And it's on. I guess probably it's like the party game, you know. Julia's going, what kind of helmet am I wearing? Because we can all see each other's helmets. And the Avatar is like, all right, stop. I'll just go around the circle and I'll tell you all what your helmet is. And then someone can, and then boom, swarmed by orcs. We're killing these orcs with the crossbow quarrels that we lifted off the bodies of the previous orcs. Yeah, Janna probably when we get to Janna, we will discover that she's not got an iron helmet on. But for now, it's a mystery. Right now, she is Schrodinger's headgear. Actually, that's not true, because obviously her headgear provides the statistics it provides, whether or not I have verified what it is. All right, come on. Critical. Okay. But of course, it's fleeing. So that's going to be tough for Janna to pick up the kill on. Is that... No, I knew it wasn't sling range. Now I've really given it the... It's got the head start that's probably going to keep it away from Janna's fiendish clutch. Or maybe not. Maybe it's going to be too tempted. I heard this Elo guy is easy to kill, so it sticks around. No, there it goes. Okay. Clean up crew. Julia, shoot that fleeing dude in the back, please. Like a hero. Not, as tempting as it might be, going to use a Vast Flam to finish off an orc. Okay. He stopped in sling range. Do it, Janna. You'll love to see it. Found a trap. Broke the key. Broke the key. Calling that a false positive. And so it was. 9 gold. A key. To replace the one we broke, but not the one that we used up. No trap. And there was no trap, but there was a bunch of stuff. A main gouge. A chain coif. Or as I like to call it, 30 to 40 gold pieces. Another chain coif. So 60 to 80 gold pieces. Not bad. And 27 gold. Here we go. This has been a successful little delve. Ooh, we found a bloody pulp. Disgusting. Absolutely revolting. I can no longer remember the details, so fortunately you're all going to be spared them. But I discovered that I had a little scrape on my hand, and I discovered that while I was in bed, falling asleep, I was on my side, and my hand touched my hand, and I was like, just like a scrape there, and I was falling asleep, and I fell asleep, and then I had weird body horror dreams. I know that I did, though I do not remember what those dreams were. Ooh, I see shark fins in the water. There's no treasure to be head killing sharks. I said I was going to Trinsic. I'm going to Trinsic. the City of Honor, because hopefully the Shadow Lord's busted out of there. Or not. Oh, it's cowardice now. It's Nosfentor and not some guy, because we don't know the Shadow Lord of Falsehood's name yet. Okay, well, what are we going to do then? Let's go back to Britannia and offload some of this new gear. See if we're in frigate buying condition. Like, I don't want to buy a frigate with all the gold that I have, because you want to keep a little, you know, you want to have a little float if you need to stock back up on things. Although we're going through our spells at a much more congenial rate now that, you know, like, that's how RPGs work, right? You make progress. And so as my characters advance, yeah, it's right in that 700, 800 range. I didn't write it down, but I did remember that. It's less than 1,000, but it's approaching 1,000. But I don't think it's not 900. So if it's 800 or more, it's not that much more. So we're getting in good shape here. All right, there's Britain. Let's head to the woods and camp it down. We will set a watch because we're all in pretty good condition. I don't think that anyone's leveling up, even if good Lord British graces us with his presence. Or if we get swarmed by more slimes than we could ever hope to count. Or possibly 16 slimes, which are actually fairly easy to count because of the formation that they presented themselves in. Alright, Julia, you're stepping forward to protect Jana, and if they get close, well, Julia, bust out a short sword. Alright, I want Elo to step out to tempt the slimes. Oh ho ho! Yes, 4 groups of 4. It is definitely the formation. Well done, Chilichampa. Boom. Ah, but I ruined it because they divide when you shoot them. Well, maybe we can maintain symmetry. No, it's a muddle now. Slimes everywhere. There. ELO knows how to keep the slime population in check. Just don't hit them. Okay. Julia's thoroughly swarmed now. So maybe a shield and a weapon would be the way to go. I do not have an additional longsword yet. We've got lots of short swords. Like, so many short swords that it's probably time to sell some for a tiny little bit of money. But okay. Big shield. Slimes don't hit hard, but obviously, for reasons that are, I think, reasonably quite deducible, they score a lot of hits on you cumulatively. So it's there you go. Oh, Yellow with the one-shot kill. All right, if this one misses too, yeah, Gweno is not compensating for that corner. She's not shooting around the corner, so I gotta have her step closer. Shmino with the reach, using that good old trusty Morningstar. Split, kill a new one, or miss. All right, Gweno in position. Jana gets a kill. The Avatar divides the slime, but also makes it critical. I'm hoping that the hit points, if they don't like literally split, which would be even better, that at least you transfer the current hit point total of the foe to the new one when it splits. But who knows? These battles are slogs, so you're never in great peril fighting a bunch of slimes here in Britannia, but there are a lot of them, and you're making more as you try to make less. Boom. Gweno, point blank, around the corner. Gets the kill, throwing into question my whole theory that she can't shoot around the corners. Uh-oh. Divided into the camp. The slimes are coming from inside the camp. Julia, get that one. Or don't. You do you, girl. Can Gweno get out to this one? Yep. Love to see it. Julia took a hit. With only 2 hit points. Slimes aren't tough. Julia is well armored. Heavily wounded. Split. Oh no. Our camp is going to be overrun with slimes at this rate. Here we go. Alright. Sending slimes to hell left and right. Jana's getting kills all over the place. And so is everybody else. I'm just more concerned about Jana. So I'm paying special attention to her. I don't feel the need to manage everybody else's kills. Especially in this fight. Where we're all going to get a lot of kills. Except maybe it's never promised with Jana. So I'm glad she's getting them. This, I can see, is going to be another episode that just ends with a real long slime fight. I gotta sell the stuff and see where my money's at. And then maybe tomorrow can be all about getting that frigate. Going to the Buccaneers' den. I'm really interested to find out how the pirates of Britannia feel about the Blackthorn dictatorship. My guess is that they really don't like it. I mean, we'll see. You never know. Like, rewatching The Sopranos, you certainly get the feeling that the mafia guys are all staunch Republicans, despite the tough-on-crime policies you might associate with the Republican Party. I suppose the idea is that they know what kind of crime and what kind of criminals. Those are hideous winks, by the way. I could see myself there in the little viewfinder. And that was some Lucille Bluth level winking there. Yeah. Yeah, you know, like, we're a lot tougher now. So, like, just killing the pirates, taking their ship, is back on board. Although I've only seen that one pirate vessel. And good, say that for Blackthorn, you know? I don't agree with some of his more restrictive policies, but you can't deny that he got the pirate problem under control. Look, I didn't vote for, I'm not saying I voted for him, I'm just saying. Yeah. But yeah, real curious to see how the pirates feel. I would think that they would be like, you know, man, it's hard out here for a pirate. Because Lord Blackthorn's laws about... Well, you can catch those on the replay. Don't split. Hell yeah. And die. Nope. Hit split. We're closing in from all directions. The noose is tightening. She certainly can't shoot around that corner. Fair enough. Can you reach past your two friends, Shimino, with this Morning Star? Huh. You can reach past your two friends and the slime you were aiming at. Now, if I was in a battle And my buddy came up behind me and was just like, all right, watch out. I'm going to go past you with the Morningstar and hit that slime right in front of you. To begin with, I would say, Robert, don't do it, because it would definitely be my buddy Robert who was doing it. then, when he missed the slime he was aiming at and wildly hit the slime in the back and then was like, see, I told you I had it under control, I would not feel reassured. Slime interferes. Slime saw the writing on the wall. Interfere with that, fool. Alright. Victory. Total victory. Nobody, well, not total, because nobody got any sleep. In fact, is it just the middle of the night now? Middle of the night. So let's actually sleep till 9 a.m. Let's try the camping thing again. Let's save, just in case we get ambushed by 16 demons. I don't think that's a thing that's going to happen just outside of Britain, but... yes, we wilt set a watch. Shimino, it's your turn. Even though Shimino can't entertain us all while we sleep. And we're rested. Here we are, right outside Britain. Now you'd think that we could collect some kind of bounty for cleaning up... Come on! Alright. Man. This Shadow Lord whose name I don't know is just hounding me all over the place. But we're going to get to you... And just hopefully that's going to be Shadow Lord free. Only one way to find out. Nosfentor! Can't win them all. Let's go back to Trinsic on the assumption that the Shadow Lord, the fucking Astaroth, the Shadow Lord of Hatred, won't just be there. Or we'll fight some trolls, make some money that way, without selling anything. None of them are in range for a bow. Julia has a short sword, not her crossbow out. I forgot about that. Oh well. It's not like we're losing critical time in a difficult battle here, at least. It's absolutely painful to mess up and waste a turn when you really need that turn. There's another thing to work on. We can do better than leather armor. I mean, at least she's usually in the back. Getting a little low on ammunition, but ammunition is not expensive. So that's okay. Whew. These trolls are actually going to town. But even that's not going to be enough. We have very high hit point values now. Trolls, you're real challenge level 1 kind of enemies, to use a little Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition parlance. Elo takes it home. Oh, you can shoot over hills. That's good to know. I'm liking the look of treasure chests on the ground. And we're done here. Thanks for playing, trolls. Found a trap. Success. 37 gold. There's still 2 more chests to go. I'm feeling good about our chances of hitting the high seas tomorrow. Found a trap. Success. Bunch of stuff. Flaming oil. Dagger. 23 gold, a key, 2 gems, torch, no trap, and indeed there was not, a bunch of weapons. Come on, let's just don't stop believing and say magic bow, short sword, morning star. I'll hang on to that. I don't know that I'll I mean, it'll be good even just when the avatar gets his strength up to have a Morning Star. I don't know if he ever will. Or maybe, you know, I don't know that I would, after I find Jeffrey, that I would go with a 2 fighters in the party build. But if I did, Jeffrey is definitely a fellow who loves a Morning Star or a halberd. He's 6'5", you know? He's a big dude. Main gouge, dagger, some keys, torch, and food. We're looking good. We are in real good shape here. More orcs. Alright. This hardly seems sporting. Let's at least make it quick. Oh, graze him. Let's just taunt him. Lightly wounded. And dead. Orc, we hardly knew thee. Key broke. Key broke. False positive. 31 gold! That orc was doing okay for himself. Until he saw 6 heavily armed people. I was like, I could fight them. I guess that's the thing. He had so much gold and stuff. He's been on a hot streak. He's like, I can do anything. I am the greatest orc who ever lived. And he's not, and now he's dead. Okay. We'll just try Britain again in the morning. Let's light a torch up. Yeah, I knew I was like right next to Britain. Okay. We'll kill a little bit of the night just bumbling around in the woods with a lit torch. Responsibility is not one of the virtues of Britannia. So the avatar can just walk around in the forest right outside of a heavily inhabited area waving a torch around all night. And it's fine. It's not going to harm my karma score. Julia, you haven't stayed up all night recently. There's no system in the game I'm aware of where the characters actually care about equitable sharing of guard duty. But what's the point in playing a role-playing game if you're not going to get into it and think about utterly pointless things like that? That's what we like. To come into town and not hear the evil jingle of the Shadow Lords. We stayed up late enough that it's now daytime and shops open. Hey, Gwyneth, daughter of Gweno and Elo. Yes, I do have wares to sell, my dear. Oh, we didn't look at Jana. But let's sell 1 chain coif on the assumption that Jana doesn't need 2. 32 gold! We have a deal. Nothing else. Godspeed to you too, Gwyneth. Let me just pardon me while I stand here for a moment. Staring at my friend's hat. Okay, can Jana put on an iron helm? She can. Alright, great. So we're not going to sell that iron helm, of course. Sell the hat right off her head. That does mean we can unload a couple more chain coifs. A small shield, why not? Got a ton of daggers, but they don't sell for much. And at the same time, who wants to carry a ton of daggers around? $1. Not one of the better daggers I've seen. Alright, whatever. How about this main gouge? She's got several already, but she'll pay 10 for it. Not bad. I'm getting a decent supply of the consumable throwing weapons going. So that's fun. Might bust those out in a battle at some point. If I get in a situation where it's like, we need everybody fighting ranged. Oh, we have 2 Morning Stars in reserve. That's great. Probably is a good, not a bad idea at least, to... Is no one wearing that spiked collar? Let's have someone put on a cool, sexy spiked collar. Gweno is already wearing a spiked collar. Julia is already wearing a spiked collar. Wear a a real kind of a traveling punk band here. Spiked collars. Yeah, okay. We're all committed to the look. The avatar, of course, is wearing his, what's it called? Jana. There. Alright, now you're truly one of the group, Jana. Now that we're all dressed the same. Alright, Gwyneth, before we leave, we would like to buy some arrows. Yep. And some quarrels. Someday we want to buy a magic bow, but not today, my dear. Okay, we have definitely got the money to get ourselves a frigate, and then we're not going to have a lot of money at all. But then at that point, we don't have any major vehicle purchases to save up for, and we're well stocked for food. We'll have a little gold left over. Reagents we're pretty good for. Spells already mixed we're good for. It's that virtuous cycle, baby. Once you get it started, just everything starts going better when you get into those rhythms. Now let me remind myself, the shipwright is in East Brittany. So for my last act today, let's throw down a save before we go in, just in case. You never know when something might just go horrifically wrong for some reason. Not that I was super worried today. And we're not open. What time is it? Oh, it's early. Okay, I can live with that. Pardon. As I go out and wander in the woods where time goes faster. Good thing that's not actually true. You go for a hike and you come back, oh no, I've been evicted. I didn't pay my rent for 3 months while I hiked in the woods this afternoon. There's no one can get evicted here right now. State of emergency is still on. But with the recent election victory of the Progressive Conservative Party, I think it's fair to say they're going to be... my senses will be seeing a goodbye to the state of emergency. Because they don't want to just come out and say, it's open season on renters. Lars, let me tell you, I have played all the way through recently. I've played through Ultima Underworld and Ultima IV. And in my life, I know that I've played the first 6 and a Calibeth, but not to any great deal. Like earlier in my life, I always wanted to be into these games. And I just never got anywhere with them. 1 frigate, please. 890. Okay. We can make money. We got time to make money. We got the skills and the wherewithal. Take it. No, nothing else. Sir, I just bought a frigate from you. What else do you think I'm going to... You probably did ask before, and that's fine. You can ask me. One thing I got over pretty quickly. I was like, don't want to repeat material, and then I realized it would be impossible for me to play Ultima V for what I assume will be 30 to 40 hours it's going to take me to beat the game, while talking out loud the whole time and never just be like, I'm gonna, many times, I've said, it's the same world map as Ultima IV, or I know all the mantras already because they are this, So you're certainly welcome to also repeat your material. We can all do it together. Oh, look at her. She's beautiful. She has sails, so we can all give our arms a rest. Now it's past 4. It's about time for me to shut down, but I want to get to the Buccaneers' den. We're on the ship. Oh, we're still rowing. No sails. I guess at least in theory, the winds should not interfere. Yep. Now maybe there's a control to open sails and sail with the wind, because what can the point of the winds be? Another lighthouse. But we can't go into the shallow water with a frigate. So... Oh, I've been to that lighthouse, I think, when I got my skiff. I believe that is the cool named one, Fogsbane. Oh, wait, why am I avoiding the deep water here? The whole reason... Oh, we gotta go out east into the sea a bit. And we'll stay head south along the way so we can see there's the shoals, the shore. Follow along. And a ways south from Pause, but not as far south as Trinsic. So probably like right around, not quite, maybe a little further south. No, there's Trinsic. Back to the north. And there's a little mess of tiny islands. And if we go due east from here, Buccaneer's Den. We dock the ship. Oh, have I sailed all the way to Magenta? Well, we'll find out tomorrow. Either way, I mean, I can go to Magenta now too. So whichever one this is, I can do them both. Here we are. All right, throw out a save. I am going to stop here. I saved British. Making sure that I'm being responsible there. Let's just review how the team's doing. The Avatar is barely level 4, so he's just working on it, and that's fine. He's doing good at level 4. Shimino is killing it. He is well on the way to level 5, and that makes sense. He's a big, tough guy, and he gets a lot of kills. There's Elo. He's on the path. He's working on it. Julia is hanging out with the Avatar at the lower section of level 4. You know, getting her sea legs in level 4. Gweno's on the path with her husband, actually. 558. Oh, she's ahead of him. 519. Well, makes sense she's ahead of him. He was dead for a very long time during this adventure. And Jana is crawling along, but she doesn't have as far to go. She only needs to get to 400. We'll get you there, Jana. And, you know, at some point, you know, as progress carries on and start to blow open the economy as I make more and more money, I can stock a whole lot of Vasflam or even stronger spells. And then she'll be getting way more kills because better range, perfect accuracy, higher damage. Very nice. What about just the stuff? Might as well look at the stuff. Slowly picking up some gems for the next dungeon delve. Absolutely stocked to the gills with keys and torches. We're okay for food, not doing good for money. Oh, what do you expect? Worst comes to worst, we got a lot of stuff to sell. Plenty of spells. Kind of, especially the ones that are really important for aimless wandering and Noxamani. Bunch of items. Still gotta figure out potions. But some scrolls that I should probably write down on a card what they are. And lots of stuff that I can sell if I need money in a pinch. We're doing great. All right. So that's it. That's it for today. I can say with confidence tomorrow that I will be actually starting at 3 p.m. Atlantic time and then going probably till around 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. more likely. So we got a good session coming tomorrow, pardon me, as we continue to explore. And I think we busted things open to a strong enough degree that we are going to be doing things pretty much every time we dive into the game. So that's exciting. Finding out more, exploring, talking to people, killing things, leveling up, gathering gold, eventually delving into dungeons and seeing if I can actually put that crazy prophetic dream that the little priestess in Cove had into work, finding that shard. Awesome. Looking forward to it. Thanks to everyone for joining me. If you stuck around to the end, that's great. If you dropped out, well, you can't hear me right now, but I'm still glad you were here. It's been fun. It'll be fun again tomorrow. It's always fun. Ultima 5 is a good game. You're a good bunch of folks. I'm a good host. It's great. All right. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to everyone you meet.